The school cluster approach also provides for diversity. Different schools within the cluster can do different things. Either they work on different issues, they address different problems, they find different solutions, or if they are doing gardening, they do different kinds of gardening. So every school within the cluster is not doing the same thing. So you actually have a greater chance of diversifying what you do intellectually and on ground in action. A cluster resource center, for example, provides schools an effective way of implementing projects related to climate change, adaptation, and environmental issues. Because you're looking from a different perspective, one school looks at it from a different perspective, another school looks at it in a different perspective, a third school looks at it in their own perspective. You diversify, you create a better understanding of the problem, the issue, and therefore chances that you get a good, solid solution are way higher. Children encounter a variety of environment-related experiences in centers with relevant resources. The centers also encourage exciting and efficient teacher training. So what these centers can do, when you're a cluster, the teachers need to work together. And how do teachers work together? Through good, efficient teacher training. How do all teachers within the cluster learn to be facilitators? How does one teacher who is a good facilitator train other teachers who are not so good in facilitating into becoming good, efficient facilitators? So children benefit, teachers benefit, you learn from the expertise of one another instead of being isolated within your own system in a box. The school cluster approach can multiply the reach of environmental projects at the community level. No matter how successful a single school, its impact is limited. So if you had 5 schools in the cluster, imagine the families of all the students in each of the 5 schools benefit. Opposed to a single school trying to do something, only the families of those children, so 20% would benefit. When you have 5 schools, then 100% benefit. So the outreach is vast. The outreach is beyond what a single school would ever be capable of doing. Disaster preparedness is a good example of cluster approach synergy, especially in our cases with the monsoons and all that, or drought. Those are disasters. And when schools work as a cluster, you can be better prepared to meet the challenges or to even prevent challenges of flooding and so on and so forth. You know this is going to happen. Get the cluster going. Think, brainstorm, work out measures, and put them in action and in practice. When clustered schools coordinate their efforts in developing disaster preparedness activities at the community level, their positive influence increases exponentially. Because you not only are focused on saving the school or trying to make the school less prone to disaster, but you're trying to save the community. Because you are not going to look at a solution only for the school. The solution can also equally be applied to homes, to other buildings in the area and community, and so the outreach goes beyond the school. Clustering is a good way to bring people together and teach them and make them work together so that everybody within that local community or most of the people within the local community can benefit. This brings us to the end of this module on environmental education. We've seen a lot of environmental issues. We've looked at how young people can be involved in identifying environmental problems and coming up with solutions. We've seen examples from different parts of the world and what young people in other parts of the world have done. Let us learn from what other children have done, and let us involve our children in identifying issues that are local, that are indigenous to our areas and locations, and help us find the right solutions. If we trust our children, if we believe in our children, if we put our children to the task, they will prove that they are as capable, if not more, than adults in the same capacity.